Hello, today we're going to use a MIDI transformation tool called Seed, and it's brilliant. So check this out. We're going to create a new MIDI track using a drum rack called 707 Core Kit, just like that. We're going to go in and create a empty MIDI clip. Then we're going to select Seed. And what we have here with Seed is we have pitch options, we have duration and velocity. Because this is a drum rack, pitch will basically be determined by every instrument. So if you go up too high, you'll get all of the different variations of notes that are in the pitch. So let's just select all of them. Then duration, if you double click it, you have a duration option of between 1 and 64 note and 1/8, and you can go all the way up to 1 and all the way down to 128, which we're not going to do. And velocity is velocity, so this is how hard any of the percussion elements are hit. Voices is how many simultaneous notes you're going to see. So if you go all the way to the maximum, you can see here there's a lot of simultaneous notes happening, but we're going to just stick to one voice at the moment. And density is the overall amount of notes that will be generated. So if we go all the way down to 0, you've got no notes, and then as you keep going up, you're going to have more notes. 100% density looks a bit like that. And then you have the generate button. Every time you click it, something new will come out randomly. Now we've got the drum rack and we can see the pitch range. Let's just generate something with not so much density, something like this. Just increasing the density, and you can basically adjust as you need. So let's just regenerate. Now the problem I'm hearing here is there's a ride there. Maybe we want to remove that and go all the way up to the tom high. But the real problem here is the variation of the duration. So what makes it really easy is if everything's at the same duration. Let's just bring it up to 16th note. And let's just reduce that velocity a bit and just increase the voices just slightly. Not too much, maybe 2 will do, and reduce the density. Just regenerate until we hear something we like. Okay, so we've got something relatively rhythmical there. Now what we can do is bring in a top loop like this one. That's pretty cool. So we can do more here. Let's just change now the pitch. And all that's doing is changing the instruments that are being selected on the drum rack. Let's increase the velocity. Let's just reduce things up to 1/8. Regenerate. Now the other thing we can do is, if we like what we hear here, we can go in and now create a new MIDI track, and we're going to insert just a basic operator bass here. Let's right click and insert a new MIDI clip like this. And now here in Seed, we've already selected a C minor scale. We can do all sorts of fun things like change the duration, increase the amount of voices. But I think in this case, what we're going to do is have 2 voices. I think a 50% density is fine here, and the velocity is fine, and we're just going to stick to 16 for duration. But what's really interesting is, even though you are in 116, even if you just drag it slightly, it can actually increase the size of the notes, which I find really amazing, to be honest. So let's go ahead and have short 16th durations and see how that sounds. Let's just regenerate. Let's make them longer duration. Let's reduce this to 1 voice. And density a bit higher. Lower. And a bit higher pitch. Let's make the duration faster. So you can hear here adding different voices, density, pitch, and duration, as well as velocity, can give you some ideas here to carry forward into your next project. So I think it's pretty cool. What do you think?